Welcome back to another episode of the Community Collective podcast. I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent, here in my amazing podcast studio / office / babysitting den for when my kids get out of school. And I am joined with my partner in crime, my beautiful ginger husband, Mr. Travis Howell. How's it going, buddy?
It's going great. You know what, though?
Well, more so, you're babysitting me.
Let's
be honest.
We're a good team.
I mean, we're all right.
Yeah. I think our wives understand our relationship and
I hope so.
Our humor together.
I hope so. Yes.
This is our chance to be bad examples without our kids around.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about today because we're joined by somebody that we have been attempting to get on for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And she's been dodging our calls and text messages, locking her office door every time that, we're in City Hall.
Trying to find where she is.
I know. She's running around.
Running away from us.
She's got her clipboard, doing all the things, but That's okay. We are excited today because we have Jessica Abraham with us, and we are going to discuss all the amazing things that are happening in downtown Davison. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I think our families have gone downtown and enjoyed so many things over the years that's what I'm excited about is now we have the person that's really helping out with interacting with businesses and representing the city and what's going on in this growing area.
And I think for you and I, you're currently still in the role of executive director for the Chamber of Commerce.
I am.
Myself, I am a serial entrepreneur. I've owned and operated multiple businesses. We have such a soft spot for our local business community. And more specifically, these downtown areas, where we just want to bring the community in and show them all the good things that are happening downtown. And that's why I always love talking to Jessica and looking forward to the events that are going on. And we've got a great one that's coming up this coming weekend, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into that. But Travis, go ahead. Why don't you do the intro here and let's get chatting with Jessica.
All right. Jessica, so your official title, to make sure I get it right, is the Business Liaison for the City of Davison, DDA. And for people wondering, that is Downtown Development Authority is what DDA is. What are some of your key responsibilities and what your main role of impacting businesses and getting residents to come downtown?
Wait, time out.
Oh,
I'm going to put you right on the spot. There is a distinct difference between the Davison Area Chamber of Commerce and the DDA.
Yes.
And we will talk more about that.
Yes. I say we support everything DDA does.
Absolutely.
And we love seeing that, but we also like
we're
different groups.
100%.
But we also gives us a chance to go enjoy things that we're not organizing, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tag someone else's responsibility.
To start off with, I've been avoiding you guys 100%. And
I would advise people to avoid us.
I only came today because I heard you were in need of a babysitter.
That's what it is.
I popped in here to answer your questions. So I want to start by stating that the DDA district, for those who don't know, runs from Main Street, from Rising through 3rd Street.
Okay.
On Main Street, and then M15 from Rising to 3rd Street. So it's both of those main corridors.
Okay.
That to start with, and we feature 82 businesses inside of the DDA.
Wow.
That is amazing.
82 is how many at last count.
Good luck counting that high, Johnny.
Yeah, even with my flip-flops on.
And so my title changed the beginning of last year. Up until that point, we had quite a few different titles come through the DDA. Executive Director was one years and years ago. Diane Millington did a great job when she came on as Event Coordinator, and that title stayed through the last Event Coordinator. The DDA, and I had said before I was going to state this, we are not an event committee. And so when you hire, I'm the only subcontracted employee on the DDA. And so when you're hiring somebody and paying them and you're titling them an event coordinator, you feel like you have to have events because you're paying somebody to do that. When in actuality, my job should be going between the Davison businesses and the DDA, because not all of those 82 businesses can make it to a DDA event or a DDA meeting or a subcommittee meeting. So that actually is my job, is to be the eyes and the ears and the mouthpiece for the Davison businesses to the DDA.
Well, and I noticed too over the years when we've talked to local business owners, you guys also do kind of like surveys with the businesses to get their. It's an easier way to get their input. Some of them, I mean, they need to go home, so they can't make it to a DDA meeting. So you guys are doing a good job. I feel like trying to reach out in different mediums, whether
Yes.
you're walking into it or you're sending them a survey just to make sure input is
Yeah.
taken and can figure out what's the next step after that. So
And we can do all the work we want, but if it's not benefiting them, it's doing no good. We're spinning our wheels. And that's what we found with some past events and some places where money's allocated. The businesses really want to see beautification downtown and
Sure.
putting that money to use.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think one of the things that when I joined the board, I don't know. I've just been appointed. Thank you, Tim Bishop, for another like 4 years. So I'm not sure how he got that through right at the end of his term. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But when I came on board, I wanted to understand first what the DDA was doing. I'm really big on what can we do to drive business and traffic to these businesses, to these 82 businesses, 365 days a year. You know, I grew up in Lapeer, so seeing the things that they're doing with their downtown district has been great. And there's so much benefit to having a vibrant downtown district. And I think you do a great job with that as well, you know, trying to ensure that there's engagement there, right? Because to Travis's point, it's not always easy for, you know, a certain business owner that's worked 8, 10, 12 hours in a day to try to come to that meeting.
Correct.
So to be able to have that intermediary there, you know, is very, very beneficial. And I would like to say thank you for the work that you do, you know, and then we just want to continue to have open dialogue with them. You know, we're never going to make everybody happy,
Correct.
but we want to do the best that we can for the entire district, not just certain businesses or certain individuals
Correct.
as well.
And that's why I wanted to share the map of the DDA, because I do feel like a lot of the M15 businesses don't get as much love, I guess you'd say, as the Main Street businesses. I can't close M15 anytime I want. I can close Main Street anytime I want.
Right.
Look at the power that she
Look at
wields,
this.
Travis.
She goes,
God.
I'm going to close that street down
Bring
today.
me the cones and the sawhorses.
Where would you like closed?
I'm going to leave here today and we're not going to be able to drive downtown. Just because Jessica decided to say,
Yep, that's it.
So, yeah. And our downtown is really unique in that we're very service friendly.
Sure.
We will teach your kid to dance. We will do your hair and your nails. We'll fix your vacuum and your cell phone at the same time. We're not as heavy retail. And even dining, I think there's some areas that we lack. Unfortunately, we can't control that in the DDA. They can open up anything you want within reason. So trying to reach all areas of the industries is hard. Retail is open after 6 o'clock. So having events that go into the evening would produce income for them.
Sure.
The service businesses, though, really don't stay open in the evening. It's harder. So
I enjoy going to get me a good donut at 2 in the morning when Home Bakery stays open late sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, technically, I think they're opening for the day at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I think that's more
Well,
so.
well, I know
the
a
case.
few times he's advertised that, and I know when I talked to him, like the thousands of donuts he's making for like the Renaissance Festival,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he goes, "I always have lots of extras." I'm like,
So you mean they didn't open solely for you?
I wish they would, but I don't know if I could handle that many.
Travis is rolling around downtown.
Yeah.
my donuts. Jessica shuts down the street that way I can get my donuts.
Yeah.
Like, waddle out later.
Yeah.
Don't tell my kids.
I don't want to.
You know, the Davison Home Bakery used to do a cool thing after the car cruises. They would pick one family to take backstage, back behind the counter, I guess you'd say, and to make the donuts.
Oh,
and so my family was selected one year.
Oh,
and we
that's
got to go back there and they got to make their own donut and the kids thought that was the
That is so
coolest.
fun.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think I've noticed too more and more with the use of social media. There's more of the downtown businesses that are utilizing that, you know, and it does take a level of knowledge and commitment because, I mean, they're busy. But when they do that, it makes it good because when I'm at home, I can see what's still going on in downtown.
Well, and I think talking about the downtown district and Main Street specifically, I loved the homecoming parade a few weeks ago. You know, it was so great to see so many people down there engaging with the businesses, the business owners standing out on the stoop.
Yes.
You know, it felt like old town America.
It is.
You know, I haven't surveyed any of the business owners downtown, but it can't hurt, even from an exposure standpoint, to be able to have these parades and have the families gathering downtown. It's just so great to see. I love
agree.
it.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I know when I was down there, just kind of walk around, you start bumping into people you haven't seen in a while and play catch up with them and just kind of take it all in. And it was great weather. So that's what I'm excited about for other things that are going on downtown. And so in talking about that and good weather, Pumpkin Fest. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
This year's going to be
hold on.
perfect.
Yeah,
It is,
we're-
right?
hold
Oh.
on. We are not referencing
You guys
weather
said you were
at
going to take
all.
it easy on me.
Oh,
We're not referencing weather at
no.
all.
Oh, but
Okay?
hey,
Amazing event.
we at the chamber know what it's like watching the weather just to see what's going to go on. Most of our events are outside, so it's
Yeah.
stressful. But you think about the long history of Pumpkin Fest. Very rarely does something like that happen. But I know my kids have already started asking when it's going to be. And I think that gets more. We can't be the only family that does that because there's certain things that they really enjoy about it. There's certain things they want to make sure they see or they're with their friends.
Yeah.
And, I have one that's old enough to really wander around with their friends and not worry about anything. So kind of fill us in a little bit with Pumpkin Fest on the horizon. Can you share some maybe new and exciting features that people going downtown can enjoy this year? What are some of the highlights that maybe you really enjoy?
Okay, so
And to be clear, it's this weekend.
yeah,
So
Yes.
if you're
like,
listening
you
to
got
this
nothing to
podcast
do.
right now,
Oh my
you should be
gosh.
following the Community Collective on all your favorite podcasting platforms. If it's Thursday, this is part 1. If you're listening on Friday, this is part 2. And baby, we are going to party on Saturday,
And then we'll
right?
be downtown Saturday.
Let's
Yes.
okay. All right,
So
Rusty.
that's, no, that was great. I'm glad you said that. So let's start with this evening, if this is part 2 for Friday. Tonight is Trunk or Treat from 6 to 8 on Main Street. And we will have 2 entrances this year. They backed up quite heavily last year, bringing back Trunk or Treat to Main Street. COVID slowed that process down. We did the drive-through, then we did a trick or treat the Main Street businesses. And so this year we're going back to the trunk or treat on Main Street. 2 entrances, one will be at 4th Street and one will be at Mill Street on Main. Trunks are still welcome. If you've got a trunk, if you've got a business, an organization, want to come on down, come dressed for Halloween and trick or treat the trunks.
And bring lots and lots of candy.
And bring,
'Cause I
yes.
feel like every year our kids when they were younger, they would do it, but every year I see pictures of people going, it's packed.
It's packed.
And there's, you guys move, you have a good flow to it, but I sit there and watch people and they just keep coming.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
great to see.
So just so that I understand, because I despise candy and I don't want my kids to have it. If I decide to bring my kids down tonight, are we looking at like we're walking along the sidewalk? Or are we walking
No, you'll
down
be right down the center of Main Street. You'll circle at the library and you'll come back up. If you entered at the library, you're going to walk to
So
the
this is
hotel
one of
and
those
circle
things
back.
where Jessica's displaying her power and
Oh.
she's shutting the street down.
Shutting
again.
it
They're all
down.
shut-
There you go. Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure we were on the same
Yes,
page.
you
there.
will be on Main Street.
I
Yes.
love
Yep,
it.
trunks will be open and we'll be
Jessica's
just,
wielding her power
She
again.
is.
and you
There-
don't have to bring candy. You can bring anything you want.
anything. School.
I'll tell you right
some
now,
Pencils.
This is a spoiler alert, but I can tell you the DDA is handing out $1 off wristbands for Pumpkin Fest. So
Oh.
we are handing out a coupon. So.
I love that.
So Pumpkin Fest. What is this? The 38th year?
Wow.
Yeah, because
That
the
is-
35th year was canceled, I think, because of COVID.
Okay.
So this should be the 38th running of the
Wow.
Pumpkin Fest.
Yep.
And every year it brings something different.
Sure.
This year, Laser Skate out of Lapeer is bringing their portable skating rink. That's been a huge hit. They opened and bought this portable skating rink and portable roller skate rental trailer during COVID so they could keep their business and then started renting it out. The city rents
Wow.
that out for DDA purposes and it is a hit. So your wristband will get you that. It will get you a pony ride, unlimited pony rides through Carousel Acres. We will have Inflatable Alley,
Okay.
courtesy of Alley Tent. And what else do we have? We have a Gaga Ball pit. Davison Assembly of God brings a Gaga Ball pit.
Okay.
Nice.
There will be, we heard loud and clear that from the community last year that they want free events. They want some free things. And
Sure.
in addition to the 78 vendors, I think is what we currently
Oh my
have.
gosh, 78.
Yeah, there's going to,
That's-
we're
that's-
selling everything.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's going to be large. And the food trucks, in addition to that, we will have free events. We have pumpkin tic-tac-toe, pumpkin checkers, pumpkin toss, pumpkin decorating contest, a pumpkin dessert contest.
Ooh.
So, yeah, there'll be some free stuff.
That's kind of fun.
And then we'll still be doing the pumpkin drop.
Oh,
And the
have to do the drop.
highlight of the year is the pumpkin drop. So, Raymond Farm is donating the 2 large pumpkins.
Okay.
Awesome.
And they will be taken to the top of the fire truck
Man.
and dropped at 5 p.m.
If I was
I love that.
if I was
That's
building
good
some
stuff.
power, I think I'd want to be the person that gets to stand up there and push over
You know,
the pumpkin.
I've asked about this.
Yeah,
I've,
Yeah.
coerced the chief to be able to ride up there and do it. there's, liability and
You
insurance.
just get up there and say,
It's all those adult things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
adult
that
adult
red
thing.
tape. That they don't let
yeah.
me-
Oh, yeah. But I love seeing that because, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, this is going to be awesome. It's just going to smash town.
And what I
on the
didn't know
street.
until I took this job is that the fire department, we dropped the pumpkins off earlier in the day and they drill a hole into it and fill it with water. I did not realize that in
Oh,
all the years that
I
I
did
have
not
been attending.
either.
Yes, they filled that with water.
Even heavier and
Splash
splatter
it.
bigger.
Yes.
It makes it more visually
It does.
appeasing.
And we're dropping
That's
two big
great.
pumpkins.
I feel like we need to get the fire department added like food coloring in there too, and that way it's
Yeah.
even more.
What else could we throw in the pumpkin to make it a real big wow
candy?
statement?
It's like a giant pinata you're dropping in on the street, and the kids can just wipe up there and
Go
I
get
don't know.
your pumpkin seeds. Have fun.
yeah. Let's see what we can do.
That's it,
Decide
yeah.
what goes inside the pumpkins next year.
we're taking all ideas.
yeah. Maybe
Please don't take that one.
just don't take mine.
What is
Right?
it? We will take that into consideration.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, hey, she didn't say no to me right away.
The
with that.
polite way of saying no way.
Oh.
Well, I mean, how do you engage different community members? And I think I know the answer to this because you have 78 vendors, right? But how do you engage different community members and local businesses in the planning, the execution, the amazing events like Pumpkin Fest, Christmas on Main, stuff like that? And what benefits do you believe these events bring to the community?
Well, when I moved to Davison in 2009,
Okay,
I didn't know anybody here.
sure.
And I lived at the downtown events. I lived in the city limits of Davison, and I lived there for 15 years. I love downtown. I love small town. I love knowing people. That's really my heart. And so it's really easy for me to engage with people if it's something I'm passionate about.
Sure.
As far as businesses, I don't want to tax our small businesses on Main Street. So it's harder to ask them for things than it is to ask bigger businesses in the community, such as sponsorships. And so that's how we gather the businesses from outside. But the second you do something people don't like, they're really quick to tell you what to do.
Mm.
And so, like I said earlier, we heard you loud and clear, Davison, last year at the Pumpkin Fest. You want us to run in the rain.
Right.
And so we're going to run in the rain.
I was at that meeting. I got lots of messages, probably only a fraction of what you received, but
You have to make tough decisions in
The
these roles
thing is
too.
when you asked about my roles and responsibilities, I have to keep the DDA and my events. I have to be financially responsible.
Yep.
And I think what people didn't see was that the big things that we purchased that we would have made our money back on,
Right.
they needed a cancellation date before the day of. If we would have went ahead with Pumpkin Fest, yes, the vendors could have potentially produce some sort of income, but the DDA would have came out of pocket about $14,000 roughly.
Right.
So, I mean, it was a decision we had to make.
and it was not a decision that any of us on the board took lightly.
No.
That was a very difficult conversation that we had at that meeting prior to the event. None of us wanted to make that decision.
No.
But again, it's our responsibility as members of the board to be fiscally responsible
Yes.
and to make those hard decisions
Mhm.
when necessary.
Yeah.
So again, now we're going to operate rain or shine and we're going to
Yes.
figure it
We're
out as
going-
we go.
yeah.
Well, I think too, you have to also watch out for the safety of the people that are there.
Yeah.
That is
So
correct.
you have to look
correct.
at
all aspects of it. And the businesses that we rented the big events, the big activities from, they were gracious enough to let us hold our deposit till this year.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was kind of, I don't want to say a win situation for a bad situation, but we came out well. We let the 55 plus vendors that we had last year rebook this year for free. And to date, I believe every one of them is. So
Yes.
that's also a win. I do want to state that for 10 years prior to taking the job, I was a vendor at Pumpkin Fest.
Mm.
And I sold in rain, in darn near snow. I had a salamander heater in my tent multiple years.
Sure.
Some years
Yeah.
I came in
You
a
had to-
t-shirt. Pumpkin Fest is so unpredictable.
Whether
It's
it's-
Michigan.
It
It
is.
is, yes.
Absolutely. And I think in the past they've tried to move the date, moved it back, like just a bunch of things that didn't work. We've always ran in rain. It was the fact that the rain was starting, and it was pretty heavy rain, starting before setup ever took place. Every other year, it rained during it, and it'd stop and it'd come and go.
Right.
But this year was a little different. It was going to pour before they set up till after they took down. And
Right.
so, yeah, unfortunately.
Well, and those people, and as a vendor, you don't want your products being damaged or something happen that their business is going to struggle.
I can't roller skate on a roller skating surface when it's dry.
Maybe if I have those,
Less when it's got a half inch of water on it.
I need to play school ones. That kind of like you got to move your own feet just for safety reasons.
Well, you guys are in luck because they bring these little trainers that you can hold on to in roller skates.
That's my level.
That's
I need that.
Yep, that's me. Now hold on to your hips behind you.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
just skate
right.
around.
Just skate around.
Every time I see a roller skating rink, immediately I think of ABBA, like Dancing Queen.
Yes.
And in my mind,
Yes.
I'm backwards roller skating.
I don't know why.
I will do it around the house, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, mom was so cringe.
Oh my God.
Well, and I think we kind of just hit on this, but I mean, organizing these community events, they come with their own set of challenges, right? Whether it's weather, whether it's vendors, whether it's location, whether it's your ability or inability to close down Main Street.
Yeah.
You know, can you discuss maybe more specifically some of the challenges that we've had outside of weather like it was for last year?
Volunteers. Always volunteers. I mean, we don't have enough hands on deck. So volunteers for sure. We give community service hours. We give the volunteer hours for the high schoolers. We'll sign all your things. So volunteers are what we actually need. Probably more than money. Don't tell anybody at the city.
Yeah, you got to have the
We need
manpower to
people.
do these
We need
events.
people.
Yes.
Sure.
So now, I mean, real quick, if someone's interested in volunteering, even as they're listening to this, what's the best way to reach out to you to say, hey, I'm a high school kid. I need a volunteer. How do they reach out to you to sign up?
So we have a volunteer form on our website, which is davisondda.org, and through our Facebook page, which is Downtown Davison DDA.
Yeah.
Downtown Davison Happenings.
That's what it used to be. We
be.
changed the name.
changed it.
Because it was confusing for me.
I don't know if it's Davison DDA. That's not my strong area.
Hey, how about this?
Social media.
I will find it and put it in the show notes.
Perfect.
That's
There it is.
perfect.
Perfect. And unfortunately for me, my cell phone and email are on all the forms.
Yes.
You lucky
You
girl.
can go ahead and text me on any of those numbers that's on there.
Perfect.
Yep, I would say that's a challenge. Yeah, volunteers would absolutely be it. That is what has hindered a lot of our events or slowed down some of them. Outside of weather, which I can't control. If I could, I would.
Yeah.
And then we try things, and if they work, we try them again. And if they don't work, we give it a couple years. I think a prime example of that was the beer tent or the entertainment tent
Yes.
at Pumpkin Fest. Seemed like a really great idea. Seemed like a great fundraiser. Again, weather played into it one year where it was really cold. We bought some heaters now for Main Street. But, things that don't work, stopping those events and I don't want to say taking the heat for stopping those events, but there's, like I said, a lot that goes into it that people in the community don't see.
Well, you have to adjust to the times and see what works, what doesn't work.
And that's a great point because at the end of the day, you have to have community buy-in.
You do.
Right?
Yes.
If the community is not going to buy into it, it doesn't matter how good we orchestrate the event. We have to have the community backing it.
Yeah.
Because that's how we're at least going to recoup the investment or spend the funds for next year doing the same thing.
Yeah. Events are expensive. Nobody wants to give you anything for free. And businesses are tight with their purse strings. So multiple of us are asking the same businesses in town for money. I mean, it's tough. So yeah, that would be a lot of our challenges. And then pulling the plug on events that have been longstanding, but they're not producing any income and they're not benefiting the businesses downtown. I can't knowingly have the event.
Well, and you're talking to the businesses. I mean, they're getting their input and you know what things you're planning for the future based on that input.
Unfortunately, the loudest people in the room are usually the ones whose voices you hear. And so I have to remind myself that all the time, that Davison has X amount of people in it, and the 6 people who are vocal on Facebook are not the majority.
Right.
And, I think that's with everything, but...
Well, and I think at the end of the day, for a lot of the events that the DDA does, Chamber has some different events that are focused more on business owners, that are focused more on the professional side of things. Whereas conversely, most of the events we have downtown are family friendly events, right?
Yes.
And so in doing that, the silent majority just wants to go downtown and have fun with their family. They don't want to have to spend $500 for some entertainment. They want to go down there, have things be fairly cost effective and enjoyable, and be able to do the things that they want to do with their family and friends.
Absolutely.
And it's a great way to network and connect with people in the community. You might not see people with a lot of frequency, but you go down there and, I'm going to run into my son's friend's family. I think that's great. And that's how communities grow and flourish.
Yes.
Well, and I think too, like with Pumpkin Fest as an example, you have these vendors, they're local people. So you are supporting local
Yeah,
by going to these vendors.
absolutely.
Whether they're from Davison or Ortonville, they're still coming here for this, and you're supporting someone
Mm-hmm.
right
Yep.
there. So I think that's the great thing too. It's very business focused, but at all levels, whether you're a large manufacturer in town or
Mm-hmm.
you're someone at home that makes a craft that
Yeah.
people want.
Because our vendors, we have everything from nonprofits to Anderson Windows. I mean, we've got everything. If you want handmade bath soap, you name it, we're going
Right.
to have it on Main Street. So.
No, it's super cool to see.
Yeah. So now here's a big one. And I think maybe you can share some top secret stuff with us. But beyond Pumpkin Fest, what are some other upcoming events or initiatives that the Davison DDA are really going to focus on in the community? And what do you see these initiatives working to enrich people coming downtown and visiting local businesses?
So for the rest of this year, we have 2 more events on Main Street. The first one being Thursday, December 5th from 5 to 7 is Shop with a Hero downtown. I think the community needs to know that we do this event. And I'll give you a little bit of history on it. So quite a few years ago, we were doing Shop with a Hero. And for anybody who doesn't know, kids apply through the school to be able to have the school fund some money. It is not a Davison DDA event. It is a school event. And they get to shop with a local police or fire, public safety officer. And we were always doing it at the Meyer in Davison. And a couple years back, the Meyer in Davison contracted with another municipality. And it kind of left us holding the bag.
Well, what's the next step? Right.
So what do? So we reached out to the downtown businesses and asked if we could bring this event downtown. But like I stated earlier, we're not heavy in retail. So it's kind of hard to have kids shop downtown. Big shout out to Ace Hardware and Dave there. He said, I'll make a stop that night in my store. I will go on and I will order toys. I don't know if you've been in the Ace. They don't typically sell toys.
They don't, right?
But he ordered them so that kids could come in with the allocated money they had to be able to buy a toy for their brother or sister. Palace Jewelers, they do a bracelet or a set of earrings for cheap. The nail salon does nail polish and gift certificates. And so that is just, it's such a sweet event. And like I said, it's not a DDA event, but it's held in our DDA district. And so that is our next upcoming event.
Well, and people haven't seen that. It's amazing
to
watch. So the kids that are just like, they're smiling. Because not only is that first responder spending time with them and talking to them, it gives hopefully those kids a chance to learn what they do.
Yes.
But then here's just someone, and I notice these kids when they're out there too, they're not really focused on themselves. They're focusing on their whole family.
Yeah.
Like I get this from my mom, from my dad, from my brother, and I think they get to make those decisions themselves.
They're having fun.
They're just having fun, and I think downtown has made that really an exciting event just for getting into maybe places they've never been and experiencing that. And I will say, when I have walked downtown to see that, it's the business owners, like you said, they're stepping up to it and they're excited and they're having fun with it too.
Much as absolutely. I don't know this year what the plan is to feed them, but I know in the past the mayor has bought pizzas.
Okay.
And they go to First Baptist Church after and they eat their pizza and the church provides the wrapping paper and the wrappers.
Oh, yes.
So they gift wrap there and
it's
it's
great.
such a cool event. So that is the next one coming up. And then we also have our Christmas on Main Street, which is the first Friday in December. This year it is December 6th. And that event, when we started that event, we want it free for the community. So no, there is no wristbands. There's nothing to purchase unless you're choosing to Christmas shop that night. We have a light up Christmas parade, which we are still taking applications for. That event is growing and growing. When we started it, Travis was there.
My gosh.
The first year we had like 8?
I think
floats?
like 8, maybe 9, counting like the city coming in to tail end.
Yeah. And then the next year we had the football team because they had won the championship and they put a school bus in it. I mean, it has grown and grown. And I want to say at last count last year we had 4.
It was huge because the chamber live streamed it. And it was really cool to watch because later on when I can actually like watch it and see how creative every place, business or organization that's in it
gets with the light up.
They have to do lights.
Yep. They have
and
to
it
be
makes
lit.
it fun.
And so that is a night we ask our downtown businesses to really step up.
Sure.
We want them to offer to the public something and to cross the threshold into their stores that maybe they've never been in. And so we have the Davison Home Bakery does a free Christmas cookie, and Stamping Up did free, you make and take a Christmas card. In my time,
Oh, yeah.
before they closed. They did the make and take Christmas ornament, and there's hot chocolate at the brokerage, and there's pictures with Santa. And the DDA has unicorn rides this year. We did purchase 2 heater towers. So gone are the little fire
pits.
tripping hazards, fire hazards,
Yeah,
all the
there's
things. So
adulting.
that's gone.
Yeah.
We now have some heater towers, but that night is free for your family. Come on down, and
We just need to get some hobo style burn barrels.
I'm sure we can come up with some of those, right?
A couple. I don't want to say coming down the pipe for that event. We've been talking with a guy who sells Christmas trees. And so to have a Christmas tree lot
that'd be
amazing.
that is, I
It
know,
would be.
that is one thing that I'm really holding on to. I want a Christmas tree lot.
I mean, this sounds like a Hallmark movie.
I-
One of those
Now, if you
made for
just- if
TV
you had a
Hallmark
little bit
movies.
of snow happening that night, too.
On
Perfect,
cue,
right?
the snow
Oh my gosh.
starts.
Yeah.
Santa will reach us the night before Christmas, light the tree. I mean, it's cool. So we have a selfie station set up. We're going to light the tree again. Just a lot going on Main Street that night.
No,
Well, I think
that's-
last year
that's
too,
fantastic.
like you guys had, if I remember right, it was like one of those mobile food trucks that served warm drinks.
It was a hot cocoa bar.
Yeah, hot cocoa bar. And I remember because it was in front of the Elixir area.
Yep.
That was very unique and new, and I love seeing that.
Yeah.
And-
Milan's Bottle Service.
Yes.
Davison is who did that. So
I
yeah,
know.
I'm anticipating they'll be back this year, along with, we usually have a kettle corn person and
Mhm.
and a candied nuts person.
All the smells.
All
Oh
the
my gosh.
Christmas
So yeah, you get
things.
some snow with all the lights and
Yep,
everything.
That's-
And kids
that's
have a
the
chance to
plan.
meet Santa, don't they?
they do. And
See,
leave their
that's-
letter.
You get down there, meet Santa, and it's all free
Yes.
to the public. And I think that's
Yeah.
the amazing part is that the DDA works so hard to figure out ways to make residents make memories.
Mhm. Yeah.
I love that you guys really do focus on residents coming downtown, visiting the businesses, but
Mhm.
also having some fun things to create those memories.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And we have coincided that event the last couple years with Ireland's Dream Tree Auction. And as sad as we are to see them go, it's a great thing when you build up enough that you need bigger space.
Yes.
Right.
Like, I can't knock anybody
I
for that.
know.
And I think they're moving it out of our DDA district this year, which isn't going to slow us down. 2 years in a row, we have won my family has
Oh, yes.
won the Chamber of Commerce's
You're
tree.
right.
So much fun with that.
If you're
We do.
coming, I'll be ready for you because we're planning a three-peat here. But it's things like that like we're able to give back and
Yeah.
partner with another organization. Now, you were asking earlier how we do that. And so I serve on the promotions committee as well. And so I've gone to them this past year and said, we need to step up our game doing things with other organizations.
Mhm.
We need to sponsor a table at Quarter Mania. We need to have a golf team in the Stars and Stripes outing. Like, there are things that we need to do. We need to kind of, cross aisleways and
Right. It's
And
Collaboration, not
Collaboration.
competition.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So the only thing I would like to see is, we're dropping a pumpkin during Pumpkin Fest.
Yeah.
I think at Christmas we got to figure out something we can drop
We gotta
from the
drop
fire department.
something.
Let's
I don't-
drop Santa.
Oh my
He's
God,
he's
he went
magical.
there.
He's magical.
Johnny, wrong podcast.
Right, bad. Another one.
Maybe we figure out like some type of cool Christmas tree that's like has some
Yeah.
lights on it or something, right? What could
I
it
don't
be?
know.
I mean, you said there's going to be a unicorn there, so
Unicorn.
Maybe
yeah,
drop a
there's-
big bag of glitter everywhere.
Glitter
that's what
bomb?
we need. Complaining
you-
about glitter
you-
everywhere.
You went to say Santa.
Right.
It's all magical, right?
Yeah.
Well, as we finish out this episode, I've got one question for you. We didn't tell you this one,
Okay.
so we're going to put you on the spot.
Pressure.
This is the way I like to do it, especially when I talk to my friends in the DDA district. So if you had an unlimited budget for the DDA district,
Oh.
Oh.
what's the number one thing you would love to see occur within the DDA district?
Now
That
this is hypothetical.
this is
Yes.
hypothetical,
Huge-
but if you
no-
win
yeah.
the next $1 billion Powerball or Mega Millions, I
What would I
expect
wanna-
this. What would you love to see in the DDA district that's not currently available?
Wow. It's funny you say that.
All
Because
right.
just this morning, I was speaking at City Hall to our city manager, and I said, I'll tell you what, if I had the money, and I just said
Oh,
that,
This is great.
This is perfect then.
facades
Yeah.
across all of downtown. I don't want to say our downtown is sad looking.
Yeah.
There are some businesses that are beautiful,
Right.
but if I could, storefronts all across,
Right.
all down Main Street, I'd redo
And
the whole
really
frontage.
give it that hallmark
Yeah.
Main
Yeah.
Street USA
Oh,
feel.
I like it.
Yes.
Yep, I do too. I mean, there's a lot that we want to do that
Mhm.
we'll try to make it more visually appealing.
Absolutely.
And obviously we want to allow the businesses to have autonomy
Mhm.
to do what they see fit.
Absolutely.
But if we had a way in which, whether it was through a grant program or whatever else, really try to spice up the visuals of what
Agreed.
downtown looks like.
Agreed.
For sure.
Agreed. Yep.
And
And,
that's-
it's what it first impressions sell.
Yeah.
And I think we're not a destination city. There isn't a ton that is coming
We'll be there.
yet, but I want to be ready when we are. So if I
Yeah.
had unlimited money, that's what I would do.
Then Jessica would close down the street and just sit there and watch people
Right.
walk down there.
And we're doing it, and I shouldn't say we're doing it in baby steps. So we have a beautification fund now
Yep.
that we've heard from businesses. Here's what we want. Here's what we need. And so benches, we got new benches coming. I
right.
don't know if
I
I'm
think
allowed to
it's-
talk
it's
about
so
the
hard.
benches. We have new benches coming.
It's about long-term goals
It is.
of how to keep drawing our residents, but then people from outside of our community.
Yeah. And we can't do
into
everything
downtown.
all at once.
No,
if I can do
you
it all
can't.
at once, I would, but it's baby steps. It's dog poop bags on both sides of the city.
Right.
For the, it's
Right.
baby steps.
It's
It's,
a-
window washing.
it's-
It's getting downtown and cleaning the sidewalks up after big
It's
events.
listening to
and
people what's needed and focusing on that.
might just be new trash cans.
It's a start, right?
That's
Well, and that's the beauty of it, and I would encourage all of our listeners, if you haven't spent time downtown, please go and visit.
Oh,
Pick an afternoon,
yeah.
Friday after work.
Because what people don't realize is those 82 businesses, a lot of them are in hallways.
Not
there are a
everything's a
lot-
storefront.
Correct.
So
Correct.
don't be afraid to hey,
explore a little
is this
bit.
door open? I'm going to pull it. Hey, look at all this cool stuff that's
tell
in
me
here.
about this place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's a great point as well. So I would highly encourage our community to get out there, go explore. If you have suggestions, don't inundate Jessica, send them to me. I'll gladly bring them before the board. What we want collectively is a vibrant and engaging downtown district. Jessica does an amazing job with the events. The board really understands the beautification aspect, trying to make it a destination. And we're trying to do our best. And to that point that you just hit on, it is baby steps. We don't have unlimited funds. We can't go do all these different things all at once. But we do want to do the best that we can, and we want to showcase the amazing city that Davison is.
Agreed.
Well,
Travis, anything in closing, my friend?
No. Jessica, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And after feeling like Elmer Fudd hunting, Bugs Bunny, we
found
cornered her.
right?
I
Exactly.
just want to state that every DDA meeting, I tell Johnny, I'm going to come and do a podcast.
Yeah. And
then
I'm like,
"Ugh."
sure, no
Sure, right.
problem.
I was like, I actually hate doing it, but I'll come.
Should have gone back on the meeting notes
Yeah.
and I said, "Oh, Jessica, you did say this."
Yeah.
It's right here.
6 times.
No, so it's exciting. I think you, as the business liaison for the DDA, you have it is a big challenge because you do have 82 businesses, and that's a lot of people to listen to. And on top of that, you have board members, and then you're looking for volunteers. So we appreciate all that you do,
Yep.
and you have hopefully more volunteers that are interested in being involved and getting downtown with you and encouraging people to just come downtown, enjoy it. I mean, it's one of those things that you just want to go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice place just to go kind of up and down the streets and check things out. And I know, on a side note, I checked out, I was only able to go once, but the market on Main.
Oh, yeah.
That was, I loved it.
Yeah.
a
We're
great
going to
thing.
continue those next year
It
as well.
is.
Second
Downtown.
Saturdays in
Yeah.
July, August, and September.
It is.
Little farmers
And
market.
local people, you can sign up as a vendor to be downtown, whether it's fresh produce or something you're making. So I think that's something that was exciting when you guys started that up, and it's going to keep growing. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And so as we close, was it as nerve-wracking as you thought it was going to be?
No.
It wasn't.
So when am I coming back?
Exactly.
Oh, we have it now.
So maybe we'll get you back before Christmas on Main.
Oh,
and
I
we
love
can
it.
finalize all that stuff. So that'd be fantastic. We appreciate the time today.
Yeah, thank you.
I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent, joined by my beautiful, beautiful ginger husband,
Travis Howell.
just so that we can get the rumor mill going here about what the hell is this guy about.
What are we doing here? Yes.
But hey, at the end of the day, shop local, support local. Davison is a great place to live, work, and play. And we hope that you'll engage with our downtown area. And we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.